Hey, thanks for listening to this Trainer Spotlight episode on FITLETE Radio. My name is George Pagan III. Let's meet our coach.
So my name is Alex Lewis. I am the owner of Algol Performance. I have been coaching for the last 10 years. I've been coaching myself for the last 15. I decided to venture out on my own after working at a Gold's Gym for 5 years after COVID because I didn't want to rebuild the clientele that I had there, seeing as I knew how much money I'd be able to make doing so. So I took a bet on myself and decided to start my own business. And so far in the first 5 years, it's been a lot of good learning experiences. It's brought me to a lot of different places. That's allowed me to meet a bunch of different people. So overall, it's been one of the better choices I've ever made. I specialize in helping athletes, high achieving CEOs, lawyers, those types of people, really anybody who is just wanting to improve their quality of life. Those are the people that I look for to be able to help.
I know you're an awesome coach and take your job seriously, but to get to know you a little bit more, can you tell us a funny story about your life that happened outside of coaching?
So a funny story of mine happened when I was probably 18 or 19. I was at my brother's housewarming party, and I was extremely inebriated, as one at such age tends to do whenever there's a house party available. One of his friends grew peppers and brought over some serranos and habaneros, and me, being young and dumb, thought I would listen to them, and they dared me to eat one of each of them. And my bright idea was to eat both of them at the same time. So, without hesitation, I put both a habanero and a serrano pepper in my mouth at the same time and ate the entire thing. Proceeded to chew it all the way up and swallow it. And then I think I spent the next, I don't know, 15, 20, a long time drinking as much milk as I could, eating as much bread as I could, with no avail. None of it seemed to help. Basically, did everything I could until my stomach was so full that I could no longer try to prevent the heat that was happening in my mouth. Um, Needless to say, I learned a very valuable lesson that don't be the dummy who tries to prove something in front of older people when you are intoxicated.
We can't train everyone exactly the same. Our clients come to us having different life experiences and sometimes force us to think outside the box when it comes to their training. As a coach, how do you problem solve with your clients who come to you with some common aches, pains, injuries, some physical limitations, or previous traumas so they can still get the results that they want and the ones that they came to you for?
So, having clients who have common aches, pains, injuries, things like that was something I dealt with a ton of when I worked at a Gold's Gym. And it was one of the things I decided that I wanted to get better at handling when I decided to work for myself. So I actually specialize in a lot of rehab and prehab type work to ensure that I can get people into a place where they're able to move physically in a way that's going to allow them to achieve what it is they are looking to achieve. Now, sometimes we do run into certain limitations that we have to work around, but the biggest thing that I try to do with any client is to show them that they're not defined by those limitations. So working around those and finding ways for them to be able to still succeed, even though they may have something that they perceive as a limitation or something that may hold them back. I often find taking those things head on and showing them that they are actually still capable and able to do what it is that they're looking to do is a really big win and a good way to get them to build the confidence that is needed in order for them to reach the goals that they set out for.
Just like we are, most of our clients are spending time on social media and can get information from other people in their family and social circles. When questions come up during coaching calls and training sessions, how do you address some of the common misconceptions around nutrition and exercise with these clients?
Generally speaking, the first thing that I will do, depending on how ridiculous their misconception is that they're coming to me with, as I will ask them where they got this information. If it is, say, social media, I will kindly remind them, like, a lot of social media people are just trying to get clicks and views. So I don't know that I would take what they're saying as, holy gospel or anything like that. If it ends up being something that they also believe, I know that changing their beliefs is going to be hard. So I will present them with evidence in the form of either studies or maybe anecdotal evidence that I have working with clients that I have for the last 10 years of what if we do A, then B may happen, that type of thing. Um, But I mean, really, it depends on how ridiculous the claim is. If it's just completely outlandish, I'll just flat out tell them like that's bullshit. It doesn't work that way. But if it's something that you know maybe has some merit to it, and the context in which it's being used is not correct, try to explain to them which context would maybe be better fit for it, different things like that. But overall, it's just educating them so that when they do find things like this on social media or maybe from someone else that they're talking to, that they then have the knowledge to decipher, what is actually legit and what is absolute nonsense.
Our clients can come to us for many reasons, and often they tell us in their consultations or new lead questionnaire that they have multiple goals or they're trying to work on a couple of things. Usually it's not just one sole specific thing. How do you approach goal setting with these clients who have multiple objectives when you ask them about what their goals are?
When I have a new client come to me who has multiple goals, I will generally have them narrow down what is the most important one, or maybe what is the largest one, and we'll start with that. Because I believe having goals along the way as you're trying to achieve a very big goal is going to be good, like mile markers for you to be able to track progress. So I don't think inherently multiple goals is bad. I think it's prioritizing those and understanding that if you have a goal for building muscle and weight loss and performing in a particular event a certain way, and those are the three goals that you came to me with, well, we can't work on all three simultaneously. We're going to have to prioritize those and pick one to work on immediately. We can have one that we work on in the background. And then oftentimes, like the three that I just talked about, building muscle and losing body fat will help you perform better. So those just kind of synergistically build upon one another. So multiple goals, not inherently a bad thing. It's a matter of prioritizing and understanding that, my goal of building muscle is probably not going to coincide with losing weight right away, but later on it can definitely help with making that easier. Same thing with like if I want to perform better, well, I may need to build muscle and lose body fat along the way. So it's just a matter of breaking down, what is it that they want to achieve with these goals and then prioritizing them in an order that makes the most sense for what will allow them to be feeling as if they're accomplishing what they want.
I believe all coaches should have similar baseline knowledge before starting to work with people. And I'm building FITLETE to help bridge some of these gaps that exist in our exposure to education. What experiences or qualifications do you think are crucial for coaches to have in order to deliver the best service they can for their clients?
I think by far and away the most important experience or qualification that I have that has helped me with being able to coach anybody is having to do it at a Globo gym, like the Gold's Gym that I worked at, where you are encountering various different types of people. Most of these people are not the most serious, so it really shows you how to, dig deep and figure out what motivates others so that they keep showing up. Also, I think the in-person coaching gives you a lot of training on the psychological aspects of dealing with people. It shows you how you can modify programs on the fly if need be, depending on how busy the gym is or the logistics of the gym, different things like that. So, as nice as online coaching is, I think everyone who is a coach should have to spend at least some amount of time in a gym on the floor, whether that's, learning how to coach on the floor. I mean, prospecting is a huge one, closing deals is a huge one. So, learning the sales aspect, learning how to market for yourself, learning how to actually coach. I think all of that is best done in person at first for at least some length of time.
Our industry is evolving every step of the way, and we're getting to the point where it's essential to have some sort of technology within your business for both the experiences you can deliver for your clients and your ability to grow sustainably. How do you use technology to assist you in your coaching as a coach and behind the scenes as a coach that nobody really sees?
Some of the ways that I've had technology be able to help me in my business as a coach is one of the big ones. I have a training app that is free to download for anybody. It comes with programs that they can do. They can build their own programs inside of it. Different things like that, I think, are extremely helpful in reaching more people and changing more lives. Um, More recently, I've been trying to utilize AI to manage some of my day to day tasks that may be a little bit mundane or just are not the most exciting. So I can have that help me with some of those things and help me be better organized, whether that's coming up with content, different things like that. So I'm always looking for different ways technology is able to assist so that I'm able to assist more people and get them more results as a byproduct of having more time.
Alex, thank you so much for coming on and sharing some great info about yourself. I met Alex at the registration check-in social that happened before the Real Coaches Summit. I was going for my first time. I didn't know anybody there at the time. I knew people who were going to be showing up later in the evening, but I went into this social just trying to settle down a little bit, maybe talk some shop with some people, and that's where I met Alex at one of the high top tables. We connected on both powerlifting and how we mostly train general population clients, but adhere to strength training principles to drive most of our transformations. He's got a really cool story. I like what he does in the powerlifting community and hosting meets or organizing meets rather. And I think he's a really good coach to know. So I'm glad you got to know Alex a little bit better through this episode, and check the show notes to see how to connect with him best. That's all for this episode. If you want to learn more about FITLETE and possibly get your own episode, please visit FITLETE.com. That's fitlete.com. Thanks. I'll talk to you soon.